Just so you know, everybody can hear us, but they can't see us right
Okay.
now. So no incriminating conversations.
Tell me what you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Listen, did you take care of that thing about that guy?
It's done.
Hey,
It's
Fred.
done. Don't say anything more on it. I cut it up into little pieces, and I made a smiley
No.
face
I don't
with all
want
the
to.
dumpsters in town.
I don't want to know about that.
La 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 la.
All right, you guys are live. Everyone can see you.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cyberpunking the Dark Future, brought to you by cyberpunkuncensored.com. And this will be our session 1. We had our session 0 kind of off screen. So, first things first, we'll do a quick introduction to the two characters who will be playing today, and then we'll get started. So, 357, why don't you start it off?
All right. Lane. Dr. Lane. First name's Alex. Right. Come from a bit of a troubled past. Grew up in nice corporate, big old town. Right. Good homes, good money. Right. And good drugs, unfortunately. Right. Picked up a few bad habits. And then after I came out of college, got with a nice recommendation from Daddy Warbucks, I signed on with Trauma Team. Right. That did not last at all. I was a train wreck. And while I was a train wreck, I didn't deserve to be fired. Right. And I just kind of, things went bad. Right. Ended up on the streets and met up with a good contact. And I think that's a good segue
Into our next character.
Made a good contact. Is that okay? Well, all right then. My name is Shiren. I am Japanese, and I here in Night City with Tiger's Claw. I gang member and want to fight for money.
Okay, then. And with that, we'll get started. And welcome to the Dark Future. And so, if you look over at Roll20, you'll see the scene opens up in a boxing locker room. Shiren, you are sitting on the main bench
I
collecting.
rolled a 14 for my wardrobe and style.
Okay, which is describe that. I mean, I would assume that you had some sort of boxing outfit or fighting outfit.
My shorts, but they're a little ratted, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, why don't you describe your fighting get-up?
Well, I have tape around my fists, and I've taped around my feet, so that in case there's anything on the ground, it's not going to cut my balls of my feet. If I've also wrapped around my midsection, and I have shorts on underneath that.
Okay, all right.
I also have opta shields that are kind of welded onto my eye sockets.
Okay. And all right, so as you're sitting there, you hear the general din and noises coming from outside the door. The announcer is rattling off what are typical announcements, and people are yelling and screaming. And as you sit there collecting your thoughts, your eyes happen to glance over at the wall where there is a what would be there's a piece of graffiti written on the wall, and you recognize it. It's from your favorite book. So why don't you come up with a favorite quote from your favorite book?
Whoa.
I'm sorry, I sprung that on you. I was going to ask you beforehand, but then I got caught up in something else.
Face the final frontier.
Right? I didn't know I was going to have a test. Holy crap.
When you listen to this as your favorite book, I figured you had a favorite quote.
Well, let's see here. So I read it. I mean, you're gonna have to make me make it up, and instead of you just tell me what I read on the wall. It's really low.
I know. I'm sorry. I was gonna ask
Man
you.
cannot live alone in the dark future.
Well, let me come up with one then. I had one in mind, but I wasn't sure if you were going to agree with it. But
All right, raising a host of 100,000 men and marching them great distances entails heavy loss on the people and drain on the resources of the state.
Okay. Yeah, that okay. So yeah, you see that written on the wall and it kind of throws you off because you figure that's the last thing you would probably find in a boxing locker room in a fight club. So as you're staring at the graffiti on the wall, wondering who else is an Art of War fan, um,
Well,
you
it's
hear
interesting too because it's like this is like the first verse out of like the chapter on the use of spies,
ah,
and it
okay,
seems to be like somebody's calling me out, maybe.
interesting, interesting.
Yeah, that's how I really react to it anyway.
Okay, and
Like
as you're thinking,
somebody knows, that I, you know, maybe a little bit more about me than I want them to know.
okay,
You know,
and so as you're contemplating that, you hear a bang on the door, and it swings open,
hmm
and you see basically one of the Fight Club wranglers come in and say, "Hey, man, you ready yet? You're about to get on."
Yeah, I'm ready as ever. Let's do this.
All
So
right.
wait, what was the purse again? How much am I? Um, how much will I win if I win? And how much will I not win if I don't win? Am I getting paid either way? What's going on? I, I don't think I'm clear on our contract, buddy. Let's get down to brass tacks. I'm not just going to walk into a ring.
I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about that. You were supposed to arrange that with the fight coordinator.
Who's the fight coordinator?
I would assume that's whoever got you this fight. Your contact in the Tiger Claw.
Okay. All right then. So who's that? I have amnesia suddenly, I guess.
I was like, you don't remember John? Okay, John, the fight coordinator. The guy
Okay.
up at the VIP section. Dude, you sure you're okay for this fight? And he's kind of giving you this like looking around the room, seeing like, what the hell's going
I
on in here?
I don't know. I thought this was water. What is this? Like on the stool here? Is this liquid Drano?
I'm like, okay, man, come on, listen. It's time for you to go. You can talk about your fight purse afterwards, or you can forfeit the fight. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay, well, I mean, if I don't know what the fight purse is, I might as well forfeit, huh? Let's talk to John.
And he's like, okay, and he closes the door, and you're sitting there, and you go back to staring at the quote on the wall. And so a few minutes go by, and whatchamacallit, you hear a bit of a commotion, and the door opens up, and sure enough, you see John, the fight coordinator, the guy who runs this club.
Hey, John, tell me what we didn't sign any contract. Tell me what's going on here, because this is bogus. I'm not just gonna walk into a ring without a contract. We have to have an agreement. Come on, man.
Dude, like, are you okay, man? Have you been hitting the sauce or something? Like, we talked about all this last night, man. It's like a standard fight. You're gonna get like what's the running thing tonight for the first fight? Yeah, dude, you're gonna get like 1,000 EB.
All right, whether I win or lose, what's going on?
You know it's winner take all on this. All
right,
ring,
good.
Dude. You don't move up to partial purses until you get a rank, dude. Come on, man. What's going on here?
Hey, I just I saw something written on the wall that kind of threw me off. I just had a little amnesia. That's all.
Okay, man. Listen, man. I'm taking a lot of chances putting you on that ring, man. Nobody knows who you are. Like, you're throwing off all my odds for tonight.
I don't think I've thrown off anybody's odds. They just need a little suspense, keep them going. I'll be in there in a second.
Okay, man. And he's kind of giving you the same look that the other guys living you. He's kind of looking around like, are you like seeing if you were doing something back here?
I'm hitting the Drano. This Drano is like, I don't know what it is.
and so he leaves, and the other guy comes in. He's like, "Well, you ready?"
All right, I'm ready.
All right, and so describe how you march yourself out to the ring.
All right. Well, I'm, just, got my broad shoulders. I'm sporting my tats. Um, I'm, giving off a stoic look. Just kind of looking straight ahead.
All right. And so as you make your way from the locker room through the dark, dingy hallway out into the main area, if you look on your screen and roll 20, that's the general vibe that you see here. A bunch of guys standing around, a lot of
This place
smoke.
is class.
Yeah, actually, it does look a little fair bit classier than you would imagine for a fight club, but then you realize this probably was something fancier and it's just fallen on really bad times and just someone just took it over and turned it into a fighting ring. Um, so it's kind of got a weird mix of like ghetto and fancy all
Is it
together.
like an old Masonic hall or something?
Yeah, something like that. You could guess it had to be some sort of banquet hall or some sort of like private club or something. But like portions of the furniture have been torn off and some of the wall panelings have been ripped down, and like obviously a lot of the gilding looks great from a distance, but as you walk up it you see all the peeling and cracking of it. And so yeah, so it's got a a patina of a bygone era is what most people would say. um, and yeah, you see people milling about, and you see that the previous fight is just wrapping up, so they're just sweeping up the floor and the two fighters are leaving, and you see the announcer on the main stage. You go and you can imagine your typical, Friday night fight announcer. Okay, everybody, welcome to our next fight coming up, and on the stage today we have our two opponents. In one corner, hailing from Northern Night City, we have Peter Pulverizer, and you see an individual come up. He looks fairly young. Let me see if I can throw his token on the board so you can get an idea of what he looks like. And he's
Body
standing,
mods.
and yeah, he looks suspiciously free of body mods. But then again, you look free of body mods too. And yeah, he's just standing there, and he's doing, he's doing his whatchamacallit, his stretches, and swinging his arms around and doing a couple of practice punches. He's you can see from the corner of his eyes he's kind of scoping you out already as you're walking in. And as you climb up to the fight platform, you see the announcer swing over and point to you and say, "And in this corner, brand new fighter hailing from the land of the rising sun. It is you are using Shiren as your fight name.
Sheeran. Yeah, that's me.
Shiren!" And then you hear a few matterings of, claps
Okay.
or something like that. What do you want to do? Anything special as you stand there, or
No, I look like as much like the Terminator as possible.
okay? And so, in a couple of minutes, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is a preliminary fight, meaning all action." I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, but meaning it goes knockout only, no death, and no weapons allowed.
Is there a referee? Does it look like, or is it just like kind of free for all? It doesn't look like there's an actual cage. I'm not. Is there like an electronic boundary or something?
It's an electronic boundary, so obviously, if you leave the boundary of the fight perimeter, you lose.
Okay.
That's part of the other match. There is a ref. However, unless someone is doing an illegal maneuver or it's gone on too much, he won't step in.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. Other than that, you can pretty much do whatever you want to each other as long as you don't like whip out a cyber weapon or something like that. It's pretty much the rules. All right. You said you wanted to do this, so you do want to do a face down?
Yeah. All right. Face down.
All right. So as the fight starts to begin, the referee comes up to the middle. He waves you two together. Peter struts up to the middle. He's still kind of doing his stretching, kind of loosening up maneuver. and I'm assuming that you march up robotic-like to the center. And he goes, okay, and the rep goes, okay, gentlemen, please don't try to kill each other. Make a good show, and have a good fight.
Oh, wow. Dude, I rolled. It looks like I rolled a 10 on my. Oh no, my cool roll was a 13, but I didn't add my rep, so it'd be 15.
15. Okay. All right. So that being the case, we're going to do our first action. Go, just so you understand what's going on here. Some actions, I set a difficulty, as we were talking about before, but some actions are what are called contested. So it's like skill versus skill. So the person who's opposing gets to roll, and then the other side gets to roll, and whoever has the higher number wins. So that's what we're determining right now. This is what's called the face down. Basically, we're trying to psych each other out. So whoever rolls higher on this roll will get an advantage in the coming fight. So that being the case, let me pull up my guy, Peter Pulverizer. I'm going to give him a cool roll. Did it not give me a... Yeah, for some reason it stops generating bonus. Okay, never mind. So my reputation... Oh... We have the same reputation, I'm going to say. So, yeah, you beat me by 1 point.
Wow.
You beat me by 1 point. So Peter is sitting there, and as the ref is talking to you, he is totally trying to stare you down. And just as the ref pulls back, he kind of tries to do like a couple of fake out punches to see if he can get you to flinch. But one gets so close that under normal circumstances, most normal people probably would have been like startled, but you are rock solid. You saw it coming a mile away, and the fist is like right there by your nose, but you don't flinch one bit. So instead of him intimidating you, you kind of just like he just sits there with his fist for a second and like pulls his fist back, and he's now kind of like giving you a look like, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Right. I got these mirror shades, so you can't see my eyes.
Exactly. So between the mirror shades and the fact that from his point of view, it didn't look like you flinched one bit. Yeah, you kind of shook his confidence. You get the feeling this worked a lot more often in the past. It works very successfully in the past, and he's not used to failing this. And so, but he brushes it off, and he goes back to doing his little warm up exercises and whatnot. And the ref asks you to go back to your corner.
Okay.
And so you get back to your corner. We're going to pause for a minute, and we're going to shoot off into the crowd. And as we're in the crowd, we're going to focus in on Alex. Alex, what are you doing right now?
Well, what am I here for right now?
Well,
right.
basically,
I know Ren. Right. Did he bring me here? Break it down a little for me, right before
all right.
I jump in.
So basically, Alex, since you've been on hard times, it's been a hard time for you to get money because of the incident.
I had to sell the bike.
Because of the incident at Trauma Team that made you lose your job, you've become sort of notorious around Night City. So most people won't hire you to be a med tech anymore. And so in the depths of your rock bottom, you were pen pals with a certain Japanese person who you were helping to learn English from. And you tell
he was trying to teach me English, rather.
Yeah, teaching him English. And so in the process, you told him your tale of woe. And so as when he came over here from Japan, you unexpectedly got a call from him one day asking if your services were available for a fighting match. And what you've discovered is that there is a fight club happening in this location, and they've recently lost access to their med tech, who used to be here on call in case some of the fighters got hurt or something bad happened, and you can't go to the hospital. And so, because you were vouched for by Shiren, and B, the fight club owner knows that you're desperate for work and you're basically doing this for way less than you're worth. You've taken this little gig. So now you're sitting here in this dingy, ramshackle club with a fairly nice mix of nefarious and not so nefarious people. And basically you're the head emergency nurse on duty.
All right.
Essentially, if any of the fighters get seriously hurt, they call you in.
Yeah.
Obviously, if someone ODs,
No, it makes sense. All right, shut me up if I'm saying stuff that's out of my place, right? I'm fine with that. So I'm assuming I got my little kit of equipment with me, right? I'm sweating bullets thinking about what happened to the other med tech, but all these guys in suits make me really not want to ask questions.
Yes, the general rough and tumble of this place kind of makes you wonder, like, what happened to the last med tech, that their services are no longer available here. Let's just say the few times that you've brought it up in passing, it's like one of those, like, you've ever been to a job where someone
something like, the other med tech, he retired. He got a good pension, right?
Yeah, you get a lot of like, yeah, sure, and like no one brings up his name, and like his name is never brought up in conversations. You've inferred that every few times when people refer to him or he, that they must be referring to the med tech, but the fact that no one mentions his name is kind of giving you pause.
Yeah, a little spooked, but I know Ren. I know he's he knows his way around some rough folk, right? And I'm kind of relying on him to help me through all of this. So I got my eyes on the fight. All right, maybe with a little bias, but I got my eyes on the fight, right?
Is this
there any
his
other
first
big
night?
influential?
I'm sorry?
Is this his first night?
No, he's done this a few times, but strangely enough, nothing really serious has happened so far. A few cuts and bruises, a few things in here. Alex, like I said, you're kind of like half and half here because part of you is screaming like this place is dangerous, but at the same time you're like nothing has happened here. So why is it
getting
so
a little bit of the shake? But
right.
Other than that, I'm trying to keep my attention, trying to do my job, right? Trying to keep a professional attitude up. Every now and then, I look to one of these suited, stone-faced guys, and I'm like, "So a wild night, right?" And then just get like no response back.
Or very few responses back. You also determine that this is a very heavy gambling operation. Everyone is here is pretty much bet on the fight. Let's just say no one is here for the love of the sport.
All right.
As I walk past Alex, or is Alex near the ring, or when I go to my corner, do I get to talk to
Alex? Do you want to be close to the ring and watch everyone?
Yeah. I'm a little biased, so I'm always kind of floating closer to Ren's side than anywhere else.
Okay.
Right.
So as you see the announcer announce Ren, you make your way over to his side of the entrance, and you see him robotically walk up to the platform. I don't know if you've ever seen this side of him before, because I imagine when you're
he's a bit of a silent type. I met him before we became pen pals too. I kind of look up to him, I'm like, are you out of it right now, or are you in it? I really can't be your reactions, mate.
Did you bring the Dorfers?
No. I'm getting a little bit of the shakes right now. I'll figure something out though.
Okay.
So this guy, you think you could crush him? He looks pretty big.
See. I don't know, but he tried to stare me down. Didn't work so well. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Whew. Take a few steps back. You got this. You know what you're doing.
All right. And with that, you hear a loud electronic ding, ding, ding sound coming from everywhere. And
I take a defensive stance.
And the fight begins. All right. For the sake of rationality, I actually have a battle map for this. So I'm going to move you over. I'm going to move you both to that, so that way we can do like movements and actions and all that, and not have to guesstimate things here. Let me put this guy over here for that, and put this guy here for this. And just pick the.
You dragged us to the wrong map.
Nope, you should see it. No. Oh wait, I haven't dragged you yet. No. Yep, you should be there.
Oh.
It should be gray. You might have to zoom in or zoom out a little bit to adjust it. Sometimes there's an issue with roll.
Myself a bit behind this.
And you guys just occupy. Okay, yeah, there you go. That works for you guys. Whoa! Now you're in the walls.
Wait a minute. Where? Okay, is there 4 rings here?
Yeah, there's 4 rings. Use the upper left one. That's fine.
Well,
Just for the sake of it, small. Was it 15 feet ring?
Ooh, sorry. My bad. Custom resize 70.
look out for my eyes. They'll hurt you.
Snow, do you have token tool? What I used to crop all my tokens and turn them into give them the circular border. Right.
That's fine.
It's nothing. It's nothing. This is session 1, but like in the future, it's a quick website download away if you want to set yourself up with a fancy looking token.
I thought it was fancy. I don't know.
Yeah, like you see this guy. This guy actually has a full like background portrait, and I just cropped him out for the circle.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a really easy way of just making tokens out of any picture without having to go to like Photoshop and whatnot. It also resizes it so that it fits one grid perfectly.
Oh, am I bleeding over the edges on my grid?
Yeah, you are kind of bleeding over the edge.
Well, you
that's
guys
why
just have to give me some extra room.
I think that would make you about right because it's a 5x5 square ring. It's
right.
smaller. The smaller than the standard.
There's too much issue with the whatever. Then just hold the Alt key when you drag it. You can drag it in between grids. And
okay.
So.
But technically, since Cyberpunk is a gridless system, it doesn't really matter. There are no grids in Cyberpunk, so you could move any direction. All right, so the match starts, and
come to the center of the ring.
And Peter meets you in the center, and so roll for initiative. Remember, click on your token, then hit initiative, and then that will associate you with the token. And don't worry about combat sense; it's already factored into the initiative bonus, so you don't have to add your combat sense bonus to it.
Did you pull open the initiative tab? Oh,
there it is. And so, even with that, Shirin goes first, top of the initiative order.
But
actually,
I haven't rolled.
Oh, then that's the old in it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
He goes first anyways. Fast.
That was from our practice session.
Okay.
All right. Well, regardless, you still made it to the top of the initiative order. Does the face down affect initiative? Only attacks.
No. I think it only the attack.
Only attacks. Okay. So you go first. You get to decide what you want to do.
Well, I think I'm gonna start with a sweep.
Okay.
+2 to my ninjutsu roll. It sounds like a sushi dinner or something.
So you want to do a sweeping kick?
I think.
Or do you want to do a kick or just a sweep?
Sweep.
Just a sweep.
Well,
okay.
The sweep with my foot, so I guess that's a sweeping kick.
No. There's 2 differences. Sweep is just to knock someone off their feet. Sweep kick is an attack with your sweep. There's a different okay, modifier.
Well, all right. I'm just reading under this heading where it says sweep trip. It says knock your opponents to the ground by using your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to put that guy on his back.
Read the next paragraph.
If you also have a key kick attack, you can make a sweeping kick. No, I'm just doing the regular old sweep.
Okay, that's why I asked. So
thanks. Yeah. So I get a +2 to sweep, and so I'm modifying it by that, and I'm using my ninjutsu skill.
Okay. And so I will be using my dodge as a counter.
Oh, I fumbled.
Awesome. So why don't we go over to the reflex table? All right, so go. This is for you. So I know how I told you if you make the higher score, you automatically succeed. If you make the lower score, you automatically fail. There's an exception to both. You can like critically succeed and you can critically fail. A critical success is called a critical. A critical failure is called a fumble. So when you roll a 1 on the D10, that's literally like you made a mistake, you had an accident, and something bad happens to you. If you roll a 10, that means like you did it so perfectly that it's like exceptional, and you get to roll another D10 and add that to your score so that it makes your success even like immortal, legendary success. So that being said, we now have to go to the fumble section.
Thank God I made my save roll.
Do
And
I,
so,
do I distract him? Do I yell like a kick his ass and then like
No,
you look
I-
back just for a second?
I think when I must have slipped or something, because I went to sweep and I ended up rolling on my ankle and giving myself a point of damage.
all right, so you fumbled. So let's see what happened here because I was looking at the rules. You fumbled a 6, and so based on that, you fail miserably, take 1 point of minor damage, and then make a stave versus stun, which you made. Right?
Yeah.
You rolled a 2. You rolled under your stun save, so you're good to go. All right.
But
So
my total for the sweep is still 19. So I think you still have to dodge that, even though I fumbled.
no, because the fumble trumps any score modifier. You can't
Well,
fumble. You can't fumble and succeed at the same time.
Well, if I took the damage, but I mean that you still, I mean, there's a sweep kick coming at you with 19 as its total, even though I fumbled.
I don't know. I've never ruled it that way.
Depends on
Usually, like,
DMs. Different people will rule it in different ways. Fumbles, right? Cyberpunk isn't like D&D where fumble isn't a failure, right? Cyberpunk, I think fumbles can be
Well,
interpreted as just straight up failures.
I made my save roll. I suppose if I didn't
yeah,
make my save roll,
no, but that's a separate thing. Like you
well,
fumbled, you had to
I
either.
mean, wouldn't that be the deciding factor?
But I mean, actually, that explains the point. Like, say you made say you failed the stun save. What would your 19?
Oh, you still take the point of damage, but if you fail the stun save, then you're stunned. You're like, I'm
Right.
out. I'm on the floor.
So, but like I said, then what does your 19 factor into any of that? Like, so if you fail the attack on a fumble, then nothing happened. That's what a
But
fumble is.
it's not a failure attack. It's a versus roll. See, there's not a difficulty, that I have to make. See, if there was a difficulty of 15 and I rolled a 19, even though I fumbled, wouldn't that still be a success?
That's a good question. I don't know that answer.
I mean, a 19 is still above average.
Yeah, I know, but it does. Like I said, a fumble is a fumble. Like if you messed up, it doesn't matter if you have a natural score that supersedes the DV. You've messed up.
Mhm.
Like Lance Armstrong is like you could use any athlete like with perfect skill. If they mess up at bat, they messed up. It doesn't matter that the natural skill would allow them to pass something.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I've always ruled it. You're right. Contested versus contested roll is not a DV. Although you could say that my role is the DV. Whoever's defending is the DV score, but I get your point. You know what? Let's just no, because wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Because weapon attacks have fumbles.
Look, it's not that important, right?
Oh.
Rule it as you please, mark it down, and if you're really bothered by the rules breaking and the changing of it, right, then bring it up after session, right? Just rule it as you please, DM.
Like I said, I'm just gonna say you took a point of damage, you failed to sweep, but you didn't get stunned from the failure.
We already both declared our actions, so you're choosing to dodge this round, I assume?
Yeah, you see, then that doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
What
let me just roll the dodge anyway. See what happens. So, unfortunately, this is the first time I've ever used. Well, I bought the book like last week, so.
It's all good. I imagine there's probably gonna be some growing pains here. We haven't undergone every single possible instance of what could happen.
That's true too. So you dodge. We're both in hitting range. There's no other modifier.
Um,
And I rolled a 16. I failed to dodge your attack anyway.
Hey, Hugo. Chris Bennett's Chris Bennett is in the chat. He says, "Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to let you know."
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome.
Welcome to the dark future of 2020. Well,
So does that mean that we both
riots and
take
plagues are commonplace?
Does that mean we both take damage? Because you could fumble your dodge too.
I failed to dodge. You failed to sweep. We'll say nothing happened.
Okay.
You took a point of damage, but I didn't manage to stop whatever you were doing. But you weren't really effective at it anyway. So it kind of just looks goofy at the middle of the ring right now. Like kind of look like you both wanted. You kind of look like you both wanted to do something, and it kind of like both messed up at the same time. And so everyone's just like looking like, what's going on here? And so that's it. All right, so you attacked, I dodged. That was what happened. It's now my turn. Now I have a -3 to everything. So actually, yeah, I would have never been able to dodge that attack regardless because I had to take a -3. Remember, I failed it face down.
Well, good thing I fumbled then, huh?
Exactly.
So
you remember our practice session where you did the one punch and knock someone?
Well, that's kind of figured that would go down this way, but this is all good. All right, so the second round begins.
So it's my turn. It's my turn.
Well, didn't you just take a turn of your declared action was dodge, I believe?
No, because it's a contested roll. So if you attack, I always have to dodge or parry. It's a reaction.
Well, what did you declare your action before we started taking our turn?
No. That's only if I do all-out dodge or all-out parry.
Right, but don't we both declare our actions at the beginning of the turn before we roll for it? I thought you said you were dodging.
Well, we didn't. Right, we rolled initiative before we did that.
Well, we rolled initiative. I said I was going to sweep. I guess Peter didn't declare his action when he should have.
No, that's not how it works. We roll initiative. Whoever wins initiative, you declare your action. I declare my reaction. Unless I decide, if I decide in the beginning, like I'm going to do an all-out dodge or all-out parry, then that's my action for the entire turn. But if I don't, then I react to whatever you do. Then if it's my turn, I'm the one attacking and you're the one defending.
So didn't you just take your turn? It doesn't dodge count as one of your turns?
No, my dodge counts as a reaction to your attack.
And so that doesn't even count as an action?
No, because it's not my round. It's your round.
We take the round at the same time, I thought.
No, it's not how that works.
Well, all right, whatever.
So that's what I say. It gives us both equal chance. So now I get to attack you. You get to defend. And if I succeed on my attack, you take damage. If you succeed on your defense, I don't give you damage. And then it's your turn. And then we go back and forth.
Well, I thought that was the whole point of the advantage of initiative. Okay.
So, all right. So he's going to do a punch with two hands. He takes a -3 for the face down. Come on, give it to me. Make sure that worked. Yep, that did work. All right. What do you want to do in response?
I thought it was a versus roll. I don't really get to choose, do I?
Yeah, you have to decide whether you want to block or dodge. That's why it is not. It's not. Well, parry only if it's weapons. Yeah, that's why you don't permanently declare your action at the beginning of the turn. Every round, I act, you react. Your round, you act, I react.
That's not how I thought it worked, but okay. You're the rule maker.
Oh, trust me, because it says in many of the actions that you have alternates of things,
It's not
multiple
ideal.
things you could do. So, like for example, like you could block or dodge a thrown attack. It's your choice.
All right. So
All right.
let's you didn't connect.
And you dodged? Was that what you? Was that?
Sure.
All right then. So he punches, tries to do a couple of roundhouse punches to your chest, and misses.
Okay.
All right. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Or your round. I'm sorry. I'm need to use the right vocabulary for this. It's your round. Top of the turn.
Okay. So. I'll try kicking. I get a +1 to kick.
Okay. And I will attempt to block. So roll your kick. You roll a 21. I attempt to block. Why does it not do that? -3. Yeah. You've totally punked this guy out. He fails to block you. Let me just read really quickly because I know there's some extra rules on that. On a successful parry. Nope. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Do I roll for location?
Yeah, roll for location. We decided that was
No, it already did. Hit location 9.
Oh. Okay, never mind. That was
Oh,
a
my
1D.
bad. My bad.
No.
Never mind. It didn't. Never mind. It didn't. You're
No,
right.
that's
That was
fine.
his. That was his. That's
Just
my
roll
bad.
one.
Sorry.
Roll 1d10.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
7. What is a
I think
7?
that's a leg. And then damage would be what, 1d6 plus my modifier.
Right leg. 7 is the right leg. So
Pretty sure
yeah.
it's 1d6, but I get to add 6.
Yep.
So
It's your key attack. So basically, I looked at this. This is how it works. You take your martial art level, and then use that chart with your body mass, and you add that bonus together, and that's your damage bonus.
Okay.
So in your case, I think it's a 7.
Okay. So 7 plus 2 would be 9.
That's what you rolled.
Yeah. 9 damage to your leg.
9 damage to my leg. Ooh.
But you get to subtract your body type modifier.
No, because I failed.
You still get to subtract your body type modifier because that's your toughness.
Yeah, it's my toughness. You are correct with that. So that being the case, actually, you know what? This is great. I like this. This is going to work out perfectly. You said you rolled an 8. That makes it a 5.
Oh no, I rolled a 2, so plus 7 would be
That's
9.
a 9. That's a 6, right?
9 minus your body type modifier,
which is 3.
So yeah, then that would be 6 points of damage. Make it through.
6 points of damage, and I have to make a save for stun.
Yeah.
And guess what?
He doesn't.
This is perfect. So, Alex, we'll switch back to you.
Hold on a second.
Oh, that looks like a broken something.
No, you know what? You know what? Actually, I think you saved because if you rolled with 6, you have to roll less than a 7, or it says roll less than 8, or you're dead. I guess.
Dead. No, but I'm stunned.
No,
I didn't die. I didn't die.
Actually, you made your save.
No, actually,
it's hard to read this, but I think it says that you did make your save.
No. There's 2 things going on here. Number one, that I didn't. There's no death save. I'm only at serious, so it's only stun.
Wait, but you rolled a 6.
Yeah, I have to roll less than a 7.
Right. So you rolled a 6.
Shit, you're right. I did make it. Sorry,
You're
right.
fine.
God damn it! Oh my God, we're betting 1,000 today. We're betting.
But you know what? It's all good because you know what? You're still in the fight.
We're still in the fight. So Alex, yeah, you're seeing this little debauchery, this little nonsense going on, and finally you see
Well, I
your
wouldn't call
friend.
it nonsense. I just like one guy leaps in, right? He goes for a punch, it misses, right? He takes his dodge out of the way, right? Then he spins around, kicks the guy in the leg. You could hear the crunch, like snapping through the audience, and I'm fucking holding on to the the side of the arena there. A combination of do I need to jump in there and help this guy out, or
You
do
almost
I
did.
need to or do I need to continue cheering on Ren over here?
That last kick, you felt it, and you're pretty sure it was close to breaking. And you see the fighter reel back from the blow of that. And yeah, we're gonna say at this point he's gonna try to swing over to this side and reposition himself and give himself some more time. And so now it's his turn. It's his round. And so shoot. Yeah, he's totally. Yeah, this is a bad fight for him. Yeah, he's starting to. You can see the sweat pouring down his face now. He realizes that maybe, quite possibly, he might be out of his league right now. But he's trying to make a brave show of it. That last flurry of blows has finally got the crowd excited. So you're hearing some people cheering. Alex, you finally see some people. Yeah, come on, break his leg off. And so whatchamacallit, so that happens. And
Is there any wait, I have a question. I want to take a glance around the crowd. I know there's some happy faces screaming, break his neck and so on, but is there any angry faces? Peter Pulverizer sounds like the favorite winner here.
you see a few tense faces in the crowd. Obviously you can tell some people
How
are
important do they look?
They're going to get better odds if they bet on me, so they're probably pretty excited to see me, the underdog, coming up.
What did you say, Alex?
Sorry, yeah. There's a few he's the favorite winner, right? Peter Pulverizer with he's been known in town. This is not his first fight, right? He even has his own title. So are there any like scary looking figures in the crowd like that seem a little upset at this? Right? Or does that's not something I don't notice?
Do you have Streetwise?
I don't, because I believe that is a fixer thing, but I should be able to make a cool
Well, just to let you know,
check
as a pickup skill, you can always pick any skill as a pickup skill. You're not tied to just career skills. That was the whole point of pickup skills. So just FYI, in the future, if you ever make a character and you want to give him Streetwise, even if it's not a career skill,
there's no plan. Motorcycle.
Right. So, but
my character's a motorcycle.
If not,
I'm fine rolling default though.
Yeah, if not,
fine.
Roll Streetwise. It's a cool skill. You won't get the bonus for Streetwise, but you'll get your cool score.
I threw it in there, a little 9 points. Right, taking a glance around, sweat dripping from the brow.
You see too many to be able to determine accurately.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost you.
Tension's back on the fight as Peter's making his move.
Okay, Houston, we lost you for a few seconds, so just repeat what you just said. And we lost you again.
Oh, sorry. Sweat dripping from the brow. Don't really attention's back on the fight now that Peter's making his move. Now that I don't see anything, I'm a little scared about what they're going to do to that. If what they did to that med tech, they're going to do to Ren after he wins this fight. But it doesn't look like any. I'm like, oh, maybe maybe I just gotta. I'm shaking. Right.
All right, and with that,
break his neck.
and with that, we switch back, and it's now Peter's round.
Hey, Hugo.
And yes.
Yeah, before you get into Shiren or Shiren, maybe explain how Janin is new, but he's listening in because he wanted to kind of learn for the first session and stuff. Because some people were asking in the chat, and then I explained it in the chat. But maybe explain it in the video. And also, Chris Bennett says, welcome, Janin, if you can see this. because he thought it was awesome that somebody new was joining in to learn more and then start playing. They thought that was cool. But maybe explain that.
Okay, so yeah, everybody in the crowd, we have a third player. His name is Go, and his character's name is Janin. He's a totally new player. He's never played tabletop RPGs before, so he's still like trying to get a grasp on like how this whole thing works. So for this session, I just had him. He's just listening in, just to understand like what the back and forth is and what happens and the pace of the game and all that. And so within probably next session or in a couple of sessions, we'll introduce his character and then he can start to play too. But for right now, he's just listening in and just being a spectator. And that's what we're doing for him. All right. So that being the case, top of the next round, Peter's trying to
land a hit.
Trying to land a hit. Remember, we called it. If he lands a successful hit, you lose your face down bonus. So,
right. Yeah,
so yeah. Now he's like he's a little shaken by the kick. He realizes now that you are no joke, and he's trying to square up against you. And yeah, he's gonna go for what he knows, which is another set of punches. And let's see what happens. All right. So he comes up at you. 1, 2. Unfortunately, he's still shook. And he gets a 15. What do you do as a response?
Well, I'm going to use my key dodge defense. So I'm going to add 2 to my ninjutsu roll. Oh, easy.
Yeah. So as he tries to connect with you again, you're just totally making him look like a chump. So why don't you describe how you die? Why don't you describe how?
Here's what happens. I'm gonna just ease into my roll, my turn, and I'm actually, with his punches, I dodge them, but then, as he's, bringing one of his punches back, I grab his arm and pull him into a grapple.
All right. So you're gonna make your grapple roll.
23.
Which is a 23. I'm going to use my escape to break your grapple. Where is my escape? Escape. Here we go. Let me just double check, make sure there's nothing special here. Okay. Boom. I'm still at -3. Oh, no, wait. These are... No, I guess these are considered attacks. And, yeah. As he tries, as his one fist goes past you in the mist, you easily, as your old sensei taught you, grab him by the arm in 2 parts, and you got him in a grapple.
Yeah.
Actually, you have to roll a hit location.
Okay, I'll do that.
Roll your D10 hit location to find out where you.
Looks like I got him in the leg, sort of grappled his other leg.
All right, so let's describe it this way. As he goes to punch you twice, you completely duck under him and you just grab one leg. I think 10 is the left leg. Yes.
Yeah.
You grab his left leg and now you like
sweep my leg.
and so yeah, now you got him. You got him by the leg basically.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna try to throw him out of the ring so that we'll just end the match like that.
Okay. Let's see what that entails. If I remember correctly.
Or does he get to try to escape from my grapple? I mean, with his turn? I guess that's his only maneuver.
Oh, okay. So that's how that works. If you want to throw him now, I believe that's with a -3. Hold on a second.
Awesome. Or I could let him try to wriggle out.
No, actually, shoot. Dude, you like, yeah. Your skill is ridiculous. Because on a hold. No, on a grapple. You have to.
We're just gonna grapple. We're just gonna grapple.
Okay. So this is how it works. For you to be able to throw him, well, now you're in a grapple. Throw is a separate action. If you hold him, then throw is a free action.
Got it.
So that's how that works. But since you're in grapple, you'll have to do a hold action.
Right.
And at this point, it would be a -3.
Right. Anything I try to do after this would be a -3. So now
Right.
I guess I'm not going to choose to do that. I'm going to let him try to break or escape the grapple.
Right. Okay. So that being said, we're gonna go back to Peter. Peter's now freaking out. Yeah. We're gonna go back to his round. For only
Does
thing
Does he
can,
still have a -3 against his try to escape?
yes, this is all attack, all
Or is it
combat.
only, you know what? Because I thought that was only against attacks that he had the -3. Like if he's trying to get away from it, he probably doesn't have to have a -3, right?
I know, but weirdly enough, at least in Pac Rim, it describes escape you can use escape as an attack action.
Okay.
So I don't know how that works out. That's why I'm like wondering, like, does that work for escape?
I mean, from where I'm coming from, my point of view, I would think that if I were intimidated by someone, any offensive attack that would cause damage to that person would probably be at a disadvantage. But
I agree with you. So I
my
won't give
point
him
of
a
view.
bonus. It doesn't matter much anyway. What did you
Oh
roll?
shit!
Okay. So yeah, as you finally, it would have been a tie. I don't know how that would have worked out.
Tie usually goes to the defender.
So yeah, he would have broken the grasp anyway.
But my hold, you're reading his escape from the previous round, I think. But the grapple was a 23.
Oh, well then yeah, doesn't matter. He doesn't escape. You're right. I'm reading my escape. Your grapple was 23. And
Right. So that was his round, so now it's my round again. No negative modifiers. I can throw him using a regular ninjutsu roll. It's not a free action, right?
let me double check.
I still have to roll for it, right? And he can still escape from the throw, right?
On a successful hold, you can throw or choke crush automatically because you've immobilized your target. No roll necessary.
We're not in a hold. We're grappling.
You didn't hold them yet. You just grabbed. Then yeah, you have to roll the throw.
Okay. So for throw, I get a modifier, I think. Let me look that up real quick. Ninjutsu has throw plus.
Just whatever your key attack bonus is. And actually, ninjutsu's not a key attack for throw.
On the martial arts forms and bonuses on page 146, it says +1 under throw.
Yeah, but
oh, is that a mistype?
No, there's two different things. Wait, what the fuck? No, the body damage thing. You don't get a body damage modifier for this throw.
Okay, got it.
So because it's not a key attack.
Well, it is a key attack.
Nope. Martial arts throw key attack.
Listed under ninjutsu, it says key actions: strike, punch, kick, disarm, sweep, block, dodge, grapple.
That's just the bonus. That's just the bonuses. Each action has a bunch of styles that only have key attacks in that. So if you look in throw, you'll see martial arts with throw key attack, sumo, choi lai foot, judo, wrestling, aikido, and sambo. Those are the only people that get the body damage modifier.
Right. In two other places, it says otherwise. It says under the ninjutsu, it says all the key actions include strike, punch, kick, disarm, sweep, block, dodge, grapple, throw, hold, choke, escape. And then also in the chart, it has throw +1 in the column under throw. So I don't know where you're reading it, but I have two locations.
In the throw, page 141.
Well, I'm looking at 146 and page 144. Both of those say otherwise.
I know. I literally I went all afternoon reading this. So the way that works is this chart only tells you what the bonuses to the attacks are.
Okay, so I get a bonus to throw. It's a +1.
Right. But if you want to inflict extra damage, you can't.
We're not there yet. I haven't even rolled.
Right. So I just want you to be sure that it's not a key attack.
It is a key attack.
No, it's not.
Well, oh my God. It's listed under key attacks. Ninjutsu 5. Full name for this style is Ninjutsu Kappo. This is one of the oldest styles in Japan. Key actions include strike, punch, kick, disarm, sweep, block, dodge, grapple, throw, hold, choke, escape. That's on page 144. Then on page 46.
I don't know.
It lists under the bonuses for key actions under throw. It lists ninjutsu +1.
Okay, just roll it.
Okay. Oh, looks like I rolled a 10. Oh, I don't know. No, I can't tell. Oh,
No,
no,
you rolled an 8.
Yeah, no, the 10 is my reflex. All right.
Grapple throw. Let me just check something really quickly here.
I think you get to defend against the throw one last time with an escape.
Yep. So let me just do that. Not that it matters. I don't think I'm going to beat you 25 anyway. And I don't.
Do I roll for a location, or how does that work?
No, just decide where you want to throw.
Okay. Well, I throw him out of the ring to end the match.
What direction?
Over Alex's head.
All right, Alex, as you're sitting there watching this insanity unfold, you see she ran quickly in the last moments as everyone is watching pick up Peter as he fails his attack and literally launch him over the top of your head. And Peter kind of flies into a pile of people off into the side somewhere. And within a couple of seconds, the ref jumps out and the bell rings, and they go, "Ladies and gentlemen, in an exciting flurry of action, Shiren wins the match." And he walks up, he picks up Shi's left hand, they raise it up. Everybody is pretty much shocked at the way the match ended. You see to answer your question, Alex, you see like at least 4 or 5 different people just like, "God damn it," and storm off into the darkness.
All right. Did anyone get hurt in the crowd of people that this Peter got thrown into?
Yes.
I think he took out a few people in that crowd. Or at least bumped them a bit. As I've already said, a little biased as to who I'm looking out for.
Within a few seconds, as you look over to the crowd where Peter got thrown,
just a scratch.
You see a couple of bouncers wade in. You see one of them unceremoniously sling Peter over his shoulder, who's now fully knocked out, and carry him off to his locker room.
Yeah. Am I involved in this at all, or am I sticking by the ring? Is he looking clean, or am I following along with the bouncer yelling, "No, you're not supposed to pick up people. There could be spinal injuries or whatever." Right. Don't move the body. Don't move it. Just put him on his back.
It's on you, dude. Like, you're the med tech. Like they
All right. Yeah. Grab, trying to push off the bouncers. Like, whoa. No. He could have some sort of spinal issue or anything, right? Broken bones. Okay.
As you're saying that, you hear one of the bouncers chuckle, and they're like, "Man, he only wishes he had that problem." And yeah, as you walk over, Peter is completely out of it. His face, his head's all lolling around.
Can I do some sort of check to see what kind of injury this is like? It's not diagnostic, but there is a proper one. It is diagnosed illness. Right.
Do a diagnosed illness and see what happens. Yeah, go ahead. We'll say
right. I'm looking this down. All right. He's not responding. One of my notes with a 19.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's not a challenging act. Like you said, this is Fisher Price for you as a former trauma team member. But you do a quick, eyeballs, pulse, like snapping the fingers, pinch his cheek a little bit. And you're pretty sure he suffered a major concussion.
I'll be fine. Stand him up and walk him to the room.
He might have bruised a few ribs. He's definitely going to have to lay off that leg for a few days. but as far as you can tell, he's not permanently injured.
Yeah, I'm no dentist. He looks nothing's broken. He's not spasming. He's not frothing at the mouth. No broken spine. No nothing. Just a little bit of brain damage.
Brain damage.
Okay.
Hold on, you guys. I gotta add a how much damage did he take? Because this is important. Oh, that throw did 6 damage. It looks like you're gonna subtract 3 for his body type modifier.
3 for his body type modifier.
I guess that's 9 damage altogether, though.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, actually, that's a very good point. Thank you for pointing that out. So yeah, we're gonna amend that slightly. You don't notice? Yeah. Shoot.
He's critical one.
He's in critical 1, but since the round's over, we'll just say that he's just completely knocked out, and he's gonna need a few days to recover. We'll upgrade the concussion to a crack in the head.
He'll be fine. Throw some duct tape on him, right? Clean up the wound. I don't know. Pour some alcohol on it. Disinfect it. Okay, I'm just stepping out of your way, big guy. I don't want any of the splash damage from this.
All right. Do you want to check out any of the other people who've been?
Yeah, I'm looking around, right? Given I'm a very touchy person, right? Which might contrast pretty sharply with these well-dressed Yakuza folks, touching people on the shoulder and so on. Be like, "Hey, you good? Come on, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Walk it off. Right? Looking at everyone, so on. Is there any bad injuries, or is everyone standing up?
No, there's more. A few bumps and bruises, a couple of scuffed suits. A couple of guys are kind of just like, as soon as you start touching them, they're like, "Yo, don't touch me," kind of thing. A couple of people accept your help. They obviously know that you're a med tech or something like that, so they let you do your little thing. But yeah, everything is cool. And so yeah, we'll switch back quickly to Shiren. Shiren, I'm assuming you're walking back to your locker room.
I'm looking for John.
As you scan around the room, there's an upper balcony section, and you'll see a small walled, roomed off area, and you currently see John there. And as far as you can tell, it looks like he's entertaining a few people up there. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to the ring anymore. But that's where you see John. And then you've noticed that Alex went over and checked Peter and all that. And now now after you've cleared him, the guard has picked up Peter, slung him over his shoulder, and has carried him off somewhere.
What is the ref doing? Is he trying to engage me in any conversation, or is he off doing something else?
He's consulting with someone right now. After a while, he kind of looks at you and he kind of gives you a buddy, it's time for you to get off the stage kind of motion.
So I take off and go back to my dressing room.
Does it look like I'm going to be needed here immediately, or
I invite you? I invite you back. I kind of look at you, Alex, and I say, "Hey, come on!" I just motion with you, give you a head nod. Come follow me.
Like a kid going to his first party, following his friends, and knowing no one there but Ren. I'm going to follow along timidly.
All right, and so a couple minutes later, Shiren, Alex, you're sitting there alone. Every once in a while, someone opens the door and it's like, "Yo, man, that was a crazy thing. The way you threw that guy over there, that's amazing." He goes, "I should have put my bet on you."
Next time, you'll know.
And so yeah, you guys are just sitting there by yourselves.
I ask Alex if he has any tape. I need to wrap my ankle.
Oh yeah, no, I have some bandages, or just I have 2 things. I have bandages and I have duct tape. Choose one.
All right, I'll take the duct
bandages
tape.
Are a little bit stringy. All right.
I'll take the duct tape.
All right, the duct tape it is. Right. Yeah. Sorry, the duct tape. A man always carries. I mentioned this. A man always got to carry duct tape and WD-40 on him. Right.
Yeah.
If one of those things can't solve whatever problem you're trying to fix, then nothing can.
That's your basic tech 101, I guess. All right, so he duct tapes his ankle.
Squeaky door, WD-40. Broken limb, duct tape. You're moving. You're 60 and you're finding it harder to move than it was when you're younger. WD-40.
Alex,
Done.
what do you think is in this bottle?
I'm sorry. I'm just talking a bunch. I'm a little nervous.
Use your pharmaceutical skill. Use your pharmaceutical skill.
As he points out to the bottle, you realize that it's kind of just like Tiger Bomb.
Oh.
It's water. Don't worry about it. Are you feeling good? Did you drink out of it?
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, we're in here. We're just I'm making small talk. I don't know if he's responding to much of it, right? Going on about a bunch of nonsense, right? Does anyone interrupt us or?
Yes. After a few minutes of you going back and forth, you hear another bang on the door, and the same fight, wrangler that was there before comes in and goes, "Hey, John wants to talk to you, and bring your buddy with you.
I changed clothes into my streetwear. I have a motorcycle helmet, and I've got some body armor too, flak pants, and a jacket, armor jacket."
And he goes, "Okay," and he goes, "Yeah, bring your friend too."
So as I change into my armored clothing, I go upstairs into the VIP room.
All right. So,
wait. Do I get a chance to pull out I've been keeping it in the bag this whole time. Do I get a chance to holster it at the side, the little pistol-like gun I have?
Well, it's J concealment, so you could always have kept it in your jacket if you wanted to.
I know, but I'm keeping it I'm putting it at my side now, right? Which is intentional.
Oh, you want to overtly show it?
Right. Yeah, sometimes it can stop before they even happen.
Right? I see. Well, I hide my cop Derringer in my jacket.
Okay. So as you make your way through the bowels of the club, you see that another fight is progressing right now. It's like the main title fight. So there's two heavily cybered people pummeling each other. And as you're walking by, yeah, and as you can see like pieces of cyberware chipping off, and like obviously someone's skin weave it just flies past you, and nice. And the crowd's a little bit thicker. Everyone is hyper focused on the ring right now, so they don't even notice you as you guys are walking through the crowds. And the general mood and energy of the crowd is a lot higher than it was before. And as you make your way up through the floors, you find yourself inside a sealed room with a clear plexi screen. Strangely enough, on the screen, there's just a whole bunch of AR information, and you realize there's just a whole bunch of odds and stats scrolling, and all the two fighters have target like screens on them and whatnot, and like people are actually like analyzing their stats in real time.
This man has a power level of 85,000.
And every once in a while, one of these VIPs that you see here, they like lean back and they motion over, and like one of their little assistants runs over, and you hear them whisper every once in a while, and you see them whip out their agent, clearly laying down multiple bets based upon what they're seeing. But off behind all this, towards the back, you see a much bigger couch area, sort of like a lounge space. And there you see John. He's sitting back. He's got a couple of people with him, a few drinks, a couple of hot biosculpt girls are lounging around. And as soon as you walk in the door, John kind of waves Shiren over. And but the minute you start moving, Alex, you get a large, beefy arm block your path. Okay. And one of the bodyguards is like, "Give me your gun."
Flip it over, hand it to him, pistol grip first.
Like, "All right, cowboy," and he motions you in. Shiren, though, as you walk up, another guy actually walks up to you, and he does a pat down.
Okay.
So So
do I get to roll my hide concealment, or do I use wardrobe and style?
Good question. Yes, I'm going to roll an awareness, and you roll hide concealment, and we'll see which scores better.
So hide evade score, I don't have any bonuses in, but I don't have any in wardrobe and style either. We'll see what I roll.
You fumble.
Right. Wait, can I do something? Help out my butt here, right? I know things will probably not be go super happily if Shiren starts a fight here, getting his weapons taken from him. Right? God only knows how many times I've tried to convince him to leave his weapons behind when going to a restaurant or something. So I want to see if I can look at this guard here and be like, trying to search this guy for weapons over here. He just cracked the guy's skull into his fist. All right, I don't think that there's much of a point in that. Can I make a persuasion roll? Or no, is that not convincing enough?
Is hide evade an intelligence skill? I think it is.
Let me look. Yes, it is. It's an intelligence skill.
All right, so 1 to 2 on the fumble table. No fumble, you just don't know how to do it. You don't know what's going on. You carry on oblivious to higher concerns.
Okay, perfect.
I think if he beats my 10 with his awareness roll, then he should find it. But I just pretend like I forgot. Oh yeah,
I'm trying to stop him from searching you in the first place, I guess.
It doesn't matter. I roll the guard rolls at 19.
I say, sorry. It's just habit. Here you go.
Yeah. So yeah, he pats you down. He gives you this kind of like, really, buddy, and then you give up your gun. And you hear a chuckle from John, and he goes, "Gee, I would think with those 2 fists, you wouldn't need a gun."
I kick with my feet.
And finally, he waves you over, and he waves the other. He waves you, Alex, over too, and so yeah, now all of his entourage, his eyes are on you, and he goes, new guy. I wasn't expecting much out of you today. That was quite the performance. You had me scared there earlier. I thought you were all doped up, or you were going to give us a clown show.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of fighters come in here, man. I've never seen your style before. Like, what do you fight? Like Taekwondo, Aikido? What was that?
Ninjutsu.
Ninjutsu? Damn. Ninjutsu. We got a bona fide ninja in our hands here. Maybe we should call you Shadow Warrior or something.
I just smile with a very, very thin, like, upturned lip, just with slight.
Well, she. Suffice to say, I'm very impressed. I'm lucky that I'm happy that your cousin who vouched for you was right.
Is Johnny a Tiger's Claw member?
Yes, as far as you know, Johnny is associated with the Tiger's Claw.
Okay. Does he have Tiger's Claw tattoos?
Not that you can see.
Okay. But
of course, he's in a suit right now, so for all you know, is everything between his wrists and his neck and his ankles is covered in tattoos. But as far as you can tell, he looks like a very prim and proper businessman. You could not really tell him apart from any corporate executive if you passed him on the street. The only reason you know that he's Tiger Claw is because your cousin introduced you, and the fact that he seems very well at ease amongst this entire crowd of people. So he's clearly not a corpo. And so yeah, he goes, and so as he sits there, and he goes, so he goes, let me ask you this. He goes, you interested in having a career here in the cage fights, or are you just an adrenaline junkie?
We'll see. What is the offer?
Well, I'm always looking for new talent, people with pizzazz, flair. I mean, this isn't just about fighting, you got to put on a show, entertain the crowd, a little back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the business of entertaining people here. So I need people who are willing to partner up with me and make sure that the crowd's entertained. And if you entertain the crowd, you'll be adequately compensated for your efforts.
You know, I would be interested, but I'd rather just have opportunity to earn money. Do you have more low profile arrangements that you might need help with?
Low profile arrangements. Maybe, maybe. And then one of his entourage like, yo, why don't you put him onto the thing? And then the other guy's like, yeah, he'd be perfect for it. And then he's looking at his two friends, and then he's giving you like this really measured look, like, And then finally he's like, Starlight, what do you think? Think we should put him in the secret match? And he looks over to one of the biosculpt girls, and she's just been staring at you the whole time, like you were a piece of meat at market. And so she also like gives you kind of she goes, he could be exciting. I could make it work. And he goes, okay. He goes, I understand what you're saying. I can't tell you when, but I'll give you a call. One of my boys will pick you up, and we'll put you in for a special fight. This is the kind of fight that's not going to be broadcast, if you get what I'm saying. Stakes are much higher, but the pot's much higher too. And I think you're more than qualified for that kind of action. What do you say?
Much obliged.
All right. My guys will call you up, probably be in a few weeks or so. Just keep an eye out. In the meantime, you can just sign your name up here and do the low-level fights. You've obviously proven yourself. And then welcome to the club.
Thank you.
And he goes, and he looks over to you, Alex, and he waves you over. Trauma team!
Is this about the med tech? I swear I didn't mean to ask questions.
Oh, did you tell him about the med tech? Nobody told him about it. He's like, we don't talk about the med tech. He goes, oh. He goes, don't worry about that guy. Let's just say he had a disagreement with management.
Perfect. Yes, me. I do doctor things. I help people. What do you need help with?
Oh, what don't I need help with? I'm always looking for help, especially specialized help. And a former trauma team medic is certainly a trump card that I would be a fool to pass up. So let's just say, along with Shiren, you might get a call or two every once in a while. And if you want to avail yourself of your services to me, you'll also be adequately compensated for your action. In fact, I think we might have something lined up for you right now if you're willing to show us a little sample of your skill.
I think, and I look, is Shiren wearing his motorcycle helmet right now?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you just have it?
Well, I'm sure you have it slung on your arm or something like that.
Yeah, and it's on my. I have my arm kind of slung through the.
I kind of drift over to the motorcycle, and then they drift back to the guy. I'm like, how much money are we talking?
I think I could cover your trauma team salary.
Perfect. I'm in.
Great.
Wait,
and he gets up, and a couple of his bodyguards walk up next to you, Alex, and you notice that none of the entourage got up with him. And he goes, you guys enjoy the fight. I'll be back later. I got to take care of some business. And he walks over, and then as he walks by you, Shiren, he stops and he goes, maybe you need to see this too. Why don't you come with us?
All right.
And so he walks you to he walks out of the VIP room, but instead of going to the main area where the fight's happening and the crowd is, he takes a side alley, and all of a sudden you realize that you're inside sort of the bowels of the club.
Before we leave the VIP room, do we collect our weapons?
Yes, the guards give you back their weapons. No, actually, no. You don't get your weapons back yet.
All right.
No weapons until you leave John's immediate vicinity.
Oh, right.
Don't worry. The guards are like, we'll give you your guns back when you're done with John.
Okay, got it. So I'm following John.
So yeah, John leads you through the bowels. Both of you make awareness checks. Okay.
16.
No, that's a fumble.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Alex.
Perfect. Okay, so Alex, what does a 9 on the fumble table
Oh, shit.
for
Is
intelligence
that on our
get you?
character sheet?
He starts to go the wrong way, and I have to make sure he doesn't.
Is that where the 1 is?
No, I
Wait, I don't know
I
what
got it.
the where's
I
the
got
fumble
it.
sheet at?
I got you. Hold on. Give me a sec. It's an intelligence fumble.
Yep, intelligence fumble. Oh, page 43, that's what it's on.
Yeah. Looks like a 9. Wow, you are oblivious. You not only don't know what's going on or anything about the subject, but everyone knows how ignorant you are.
Okay, so yeah, you are just
So what are we getting like a new car or something, guys? What's going on? I'm pumped.
yeah, you are just a babe in the woods, Alex, at this point. Like you think for like as far as you can tell, this looks like every nightclub you've ever been to. Like every time you've opened the door, like you've been in nightclubs and the doors open and you see like the people scurrying in the alley, hallways and stuff, and you're like, oh, so this is just like a nightclub. This isn't a big deal. Like these tiger claws are just running a nightclub.
It's dark alley. It's really aesthetic. I'm really getting this cool feeling from this guy.
Meanwhile, Snow, as you're walking around in between all the doors and passageways as you're walking through, you see all types of illicit activity. You're pretty sure you've seen some drug trafficking, some weapon sales. You're pretty sure someone was getting tortured in a room somewhere. Like literally, like every corner you turn. Yeah. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Alex, you think it's like some sort of like performance art or something, and like
I don't know what's going on. Someone must be into something kinky.
yeah. Meanwhile, Shiren, every corner you turn, you can pretty much spot every illegal activity happening. Like you're in the heart of a tiger club, center of operations. So Johnny not only just hosts the fight, he also is a middle. You would suspect he's a middleman for a lot of things.
I got it.
Does
Johnny kind of run the whole club? Is that what I'm gathering too?
Yes. As far as you know, Johnny runs the club.
Okay. And what's the club called? What's the name of it? Is this the little oasis place?
No. Okay. We're gonna call this Club Dread.
Club Dread.
Okay. Yes. Club Dread.
Dread. Okay.
Yeah, like the movie.
Got it.
And so he walks you through a couple of alleys, corners and whatnot, and finally.
Are these like open air alleys? Like
no, I mean like hallways. So he's just going through different hallways, and you're catching little glimpses of rooms and stuff. Right. And finally, as far as you could tell, you're probably down in the basement section.
Okay, so we've been downstairs a few times.
Right, Alex, you're lost. For all you know, you're next. You think you're close to the entrance.
We're going in down like a secret hideout. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you look over, and for some reason, you don't understand why Alex just has this like Disneyland tourism grin on his face, because you understand, like, oh shit, like we're in like some serious, like.
I tell Alex, keep close.
And so Alex.
No. It's kind of dark here. I wouldn't want to get lost, anyways.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
And and you're not even paying attention to like every time you stop to ask a question, one of the bouncers kind of just like bumps into you and keeps you moving.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, exactly. Like you've even gotten a couple looks from Johnny, who's just like, what? But Alex, all of your confusion and all of your obliviousness literally evaporates into vapor instantly as the door opens, and you see Peter lying on sitting in a chair, he's not. You know how he had a crack in the head and just like a few bruises. He's in a lot worse shape now. There's a couple.
Are they doing some kind of operation on him?
Well, I guess maybe you want to call it a cosmetic operation. There's two guys, Alex, you recognize, at least you think it's one of these two guys, one of these people who got pissed off at the end of the match, is standing there. But there's a couple of guys there, and they're all basically, they're all just laying into poor Peter. And Johnny walks into the room, and there's a couple of bouncers there too, and like these guys are just like, "You motherfucker, you know how much money you lost me, and god damn it, I lost 10,000 EB because of you, and this is the last time I put so much effort into your training and this, that, and the other." And so and Johnny's sitting there with like a bemused look on his face, like watching this all unfold. And he goes, "All right, gentlemen." He goes, "You got your ounce, you got your pound of flesh. Come on, you made your bets. You knew it was a gamble." He goes, "You can leave now." And the bouncers kind of like usher these guys out of the room. And Johnny walks over to like a bench somewhere, and he kind of sits down, and he takes out like an e-cigarette, and he starts puffing away, and he's over looking at Peter, and he goes, Peter, what I gotta keep telling you, man, you're just too overconfident, and you always lose. I put a lot of money in you, Peter." And he walks over and he kind of picks up Peter by the hair and kind of pulls him back. And Peter's like all out of it right now. So he goes, "If it wasn't for the fact that I've invested so much money in you and you're so well known in the fight circuit, you wouldn't have even survived the night." He goes, "But luckily for you, I have too much invested in the next fight. Sacrifice your ass." He goes, "So you get a get out of the cemetery free card tonight." And so he drops the head over and he looks over at Alex. "Patch him up. Make sure he's okay. He needs to have a fight next week, and he can't have any scars."
Wow, he was only like a damage 9 before when we left him. Now, how bad is he?
Walking in, check this out. Right. Do we want to go over the exact medical diagnosis and healing and breakdown and all these such things? The dermal staple and the what's called hitting him with a stim to try and keep his heart rate up and so on. Do we want to go through all that bits, or do we want to just kind of brush over this?
We're going to make it simple. I mean, I'm going to assume that you have your field kit with you.
Yeah.
With all your goodies. So do a diagnosis to see if you can adequately identify his problems. Right now he's sitting on the chair, so there's a cot bench.
That's pretty good. You did really well.
And so let's see what you rolled. Yes, you rolled very well. From what you've understood and what you could tell in mechanical terms, he's literally at wound 15. So he's at the end of critical, right onto mortal.
Wow. Right on the edge.
Right on the edge. And so, yeah, he's in a pretty bad shape, and you're probably going to have to do some emergency things right now just to keep him stabilized.
Med tech or first aid?
You will need to
Can I start getting into the surgery, or should I just hit him with a stim and first aid him? Right.
I was at 23, and your experience says that you probably need to do a first aid first just to get him okay, and then work on him a little bit more with the med tech stuff. Okay. Luckily for you, your first aid was high enough for that. And
MedTech too.
I'm just throwing them all out there. You can paste this however you will.
All right. So describe. So we're gonna say, for the sake of this, you made both rolls. So describe how you stabilize them, and then describe.
Oh, it's bad. The crack on the forehead is only expanded, right? This guy has broken limbs. At some point, someone pulled out some teeth, right? I don't think he has any nails. It's bad. Whatever it is, he lost a lot of blood, and his heart rate's going down because of that, right? So hit him with a stim, right? Close up some wounds, do some stitching, right? The concussive damage will be permanent. This guy's never going to recover from that. He'll probably have a twitch in his hand, or something along those lines for the rest of his life. But nonetheless, do everything I can, right? Hit him with a stim, do some
another stim.
It's constant like upkeep of this stuff. Probably have like a little IV bag of something going on too.
Alex, could I have one of those stims?
I wish, but they're not. I'm already in enough trouble as is. I can't start sniffing glue.
All right, and just to let you know, Johnny's been staring at you intently the whole time.
Oh,
yeah, and I've been nervously, doing a little bit of talking, right? But like, oh, these injuries look bad. It's let's not say that. So we're gonna, Johnny, you knew this Peter guy for a while, or?
He just chuckles a little bit. He goes, "You talk too much, kid."
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna say like about an hour and a half of you intensely working over this guy, pumping him up full of drugs, patching up whatever splinting whatever injuries he has, and all that. You can finally say that he's probably gonna need to rest for the rest of the week. He's definitely probably gonna need to see another doctor. But as far as you know, he ain't dying tonight.
You're gonna need some
Oh,
pain.
thank God. Okay, I saved him. So does that mean that wait? No, I'm not going to ask about the med tech. I'm not going to. Don't ask about that.
So John, so he sees you pull away. Johnny takes a look at him, and he goes, "So, what it is, Doc? Is he gonna make it?"
I'm at least 30% sure he's not going to die within the next 15 minutes. 30 is a pretty high number. I bet on
30's
that.
not that high, actually.
he sees a little interaction, and he kind of chuckles again. And he goes, "Well, I know where you live. If he doesn't make it to the fight next week, you're on the hook for the money." And
no.
and so he takes a puff from his e-cigarette, and he goes, "Well," he goes, "Thank you for your little audition. I'll let you know if you've gotten the part." He goes, and he takes a look at Peter. He takes a look at you guys, and for a second, his smile drops, and he's just like, "Get the fuck out of here now."
I'm already out.
All right, we're out of here.
As I'm walking out, shoulder to shoulder with Ren here, I'm like, if I die, feed my cat Sniffer.
You're not going to die tonight.
I don't know. I'll believe you. Now I need my gun.
Let's go back up to the room and get them.
All right. One of the bouncers walks you back up to the main area. Another bouncer walks up. He hands you your Derringer. He hands you your. You have the SSG, right? You have the SSG, and so yeah, and then he just steps aside and he lets you go, and you guys can either stay in the club for the rest of the night or leave right now.
Oh,
well,
did he give us
speaking on that?
Did he give me my $1,000 purse yet?
Oh yeah, with the Derringer, you also see it down below. There's 1,000 EDs in there.
Is it cash or is it like a cred chip?
Cred chip.
Cred chip?
We're in the dark future.
A bit.
Cred chips.
Cred chips.
Yeah. Before we get into that,
is there a PIN number associated with?
What is our session plan looking like? It's 10 p.m. right now. Right. I was expecting 2 hours, but honestly, I'm good to go for another hour tonight. I made sure to sort everything out.
This was the main event just to get us started. So I would say probably.
Is there a PIN number associated with the cred chip?
Yes, it's written on the envelope.
Okay. Thank you.
I had to think about that, but yes, there is such a thing as a PIN number for cred chips. But yeah. So yeah, you have the choice. You can hang out in the club for the rest of the night, or you can head off and do something else.
I'm gonna pocket the cred chip and hide it, discreetly in my jacket, and put my Derringer back and hide that in my jacket. I say, hey, are you hungry?
Yeah, let's get something to eat. Also, let's just get something to eat. Do you know any good places?
You tell me. I'm new in town.
I know some good tacos or barbecue chicken. You choose.
I'll buy. You take me there.
All right. Walking out. DM, what is? Do I know any of those places, or do you have a better place in mind?
No, what you want, barbecue or tacos? It doesn't matter. You can pick it every spot you want.
I'm in the mood for barbecue chicken right now. I want to get some spicy chicken.
All right, so a spot. It's not too far from here. You guys walk a few blocks.
What part of Night City are we in right now? Are we in Japantown?
Yeah, you're in Japantown. Let's just say you're in Japantown right now. And you found the one Korean barbecue chicken spot in Japantown. I'm from LA, so
That's hilarious.
I throw a little bit of
That's
that
what
in
I was thinking too when I said barbecue chicken.
That's awesome.
there. Yeah, you find like a Korean barbecue place on the edge.
Is this place related? Do I notice anything that might tell me that this is run by my house?
No, this is not affiliated with Tiger Claw.
Okay. Well, not the gang, but the
No, there's no family associations here for this barbecue.
got it. Got it.
Um,
How nice
and
is
so
this establishment? Little vendor, or is it a walk-in place?
It's kind of like yeah, it's a walk-in place, but it's like a little narrow hallway type of place. So like the kitchen's all the way in the back. There's like a little narrow hallway to the front door, and they've squeezed in as many tables and chairs as they can get away with. And
Does
so yeah,
does it look busy or does it look like it's empty?
it's fairly late at night now. It's after midnight, so we'll say that the crowd's died down a little bit. Of course, this is probably a public street area, so it's still milling about with people, but probably on the lower side. So it's fairly empty. You can. It's not like you're not like bunched up shoulder to shoulder with people, so you can kind of like spread out a little bit.
Is it open air or do you have to go in through a doorway?
There's an opening, but there's like a shutter that's rolled up currently.
Okay.
And so,
all right, we'll get some chicken teriyaki or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, as you guys sit down, a little AR holograph pops up in the middle of the table, asks you for your order.
I will have one order of chicken barbecue.
Same.
In a little sort of 3D cartoony Asian waitress model just bows her head and says hi, and vanishes. And then a few minutes later, it's actually kind of a there are no people, like no waitresses or wait staff that you can see, and you're wondering like how people are getting their food, and then you realize later on like there's this big robot arm that's on the ceiling that just rolls back and forth from the kitchen, picks up a plate, walks over, drops it on someone's table, and it's doing that. And you realize that was an ingenious solution for a place that has so little leg room that having a waitress would be pointless. So yeah, in a few minutes, your plates of barbecue chicken sit down, and yeah, you're comfortably chumping away. You guys what are you guys talking about?
I wouldn't say I'm comfortably chomping away. I would say though that I'm kind of poking it, wondering when was the last time this plate got washed. What about you, Ren?
I'm just looking to see if I recognize this as chicken or not.
Oh, you're more than positive this is not chicken. If like, unless you want to do an awareness check.
Oh, sure, why
not? Tonight, that is, you used to this kind of thing?
Well, let's see. I rolled a 25. Let's see if I'm.
You rolled 25. Okay, so you know that real chicken is a priceless commodity that only the elite could ever hope to get their hands on. So that pretty much anything that's classified as chicken in the street level is either some sort of algae or some sort of vat grown thing.
Yeah.
The quality of which Alex is right to question. As far as you could tell, though, it's pretty decent sort of algae protein substitute chicken.
Okay. Palatable, but not chicken.
Not you could like probably you're probably in the realm of people who could probably taste test the difference. For most people, they couldn't care less, but you'd be like, yeah, this is algae grown stuff. Take that faint tinge of artificiality in it.
I know the chicken's fine. It's food, right? You gotta eat. No, I mean, right? You crack that guy. You can't crack that guy right open. Right? Do you like hurting people?
If it's good to money.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's this whole scene, right? I've always working in the corpse. You always got this sense that the walls are closing in on you, right? That you're getting crushed under the pressure. But here, it's not like the walls are closing in on you. It's like they're already closed. There's nowhere else to go. All right. I don't know.
Well, what other options do we have to make money?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe did you where did I find out or where did I hear about maybe some bounty hunter work?
Well, do you know any easy ones? Easy crunches? Some figures, we can just, show up, swoop in on them, right? Big names around town, they're chumps. Just grab them by the hair and then tug them into a car and then just drive them on over and then get an easy chunk of cash. I want to just put this all behind me, right? Fund up that nice little clinic that I wanted, right? And just start patching people up. Easy work, easy, right? Put a little duct tape here, a little WD-40 there, a little combat stim there, and then a little door for me, right? And everything will run on smooth. But I don't know. I'll stick it out, right? If you can stick it out and you can earn cash this way, then I will. But
I'm not
I don't
so
know. It's
sure
spooky.
about this John character. He seems like a likely to double cross.
The guy lost, right? That was a fair loss. He put his effort into that fight.
Yeah.
What were the stakes like? And what was the med tech before? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry I brought it up so much. What the hell happened to the med tech? Can somebody tell me that, please?
Yeah, it's shady place for sure.
Nonetheless, yeah. Do you know any easy hits? Right, pick up some cash before the end of the night. And also, what bike do you got? I saw you had that helmet. Not seen you drive it.
I'm new to Night City. I just have a used Kawasaki, not very not so great.
All right, I might know a fixer. Let me see. Do I know a fixer that would know some hits? We can question up.
Yep. None that would take your phone call currently.
Unless you wanted to buy drugs.
Yeah. I kind of do, but I don't really want. This is like my first proper outing with Ren here, right? We're getting along, right? He's like my first friend, right? He's the first person I've been like talking on a first basis, and I want to scare him off.
She's the only person in recent memory that interacts with you like a normal person. It doesn't give you that like either questioning or judgmental look.
Yeah, even my cat. My cat hates me, right? I try and pet my cat and just looks at me like I'm a horrible beast, right? But I think that's just normal for cats.
Well, I wonder, maybe how we might be able to get Go involved if he's interested in, being part of the role play. But I don't know. That was probably my next thought. Was like how do we meet up with?
I can think of already like 10 ideas. Right, we're already talking about hits.
And bounties. I can work. Right?
We could like meet him. Sorry.
I can work out any number of ways to introduce him, but as soon as we have to get to making his character first. So, all right. So you guys finish your meals, and
all right. Next plan. Let's think that out. Let's do that. Right.
So,
what's our goals right now?
So, all right. So first things first. As you're walking out of the entrance of the barbecue place, I need you both to give me an awareness roll.
Oh, sorry. All right. Fucking Christ.
You did great.
Wait, what was that?
34. You did a 10. You rolled a 10.
Yeah, you rolled a 10.
Yeah.
You're super sharp right now after you've eaten.
Yeah, you rolled a 10 and a 9.
Yeah, no, I'm paranoid. I have I've still got the shakes going on, right? But I'm paranoid.
All right. Well,
he's drug seeking. He's entering drug seeking behavior.
So yeah, between your high level of anxiety and twitchiness, which has made you like basically nervous at every noise and thing, and you're just ninja-like levels of reflexes.
Is that guy following us? I think he's following us.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're noticing as you're walking down the street. A couple of people. Yeah, you guys are noticing that some people are following you.
Uh-oh. Somebody that we recognize?
Let me see with your rolls. Actually, Alex, you recognize once again
one of those angry faces that marched off into the darkness after the fight was over.
Uh-huh.
I keep looking
Alex.
back, like I'm doing the amateur thing here. I keep turning back and looking at the people that are following us.
All right, I
Right.
say, Alex, I know we're being followed. Do you recognize them?
There's two. I'm about to
at them.
point
Don't
at these
look at
guys and I
them.
turn back.
Don't look at them.
I still work. There's two two guys, right? Both wearing kind of nice clothing, little class, right? They were real pissed at you winning that fight.
All right, so we try to ambush them. We look for a place
All
where
right,
we.
so just to let you know, though, Alex, you've only noticed one guy from the club. You've all noticed that at least half a dozen people are following you.
Oh
Yo,
shit!
alleyway, let's ditch him.
right,
Do you
so
think we
we're-
can get up onto one of the roofs?
How many people are following us? A half a dozen.
Yeah, there's about a half a dozen people.
All right, I say.
And they're all they're trying to appear normal. And like I said, the street's not empty. It's like normally moving. So like if you hadn't
Right.
rolled a great awareness, they would just look like people walking in a
Right.
group.
Is
But
there a cab nearby that we can hop into?
Yes, there is. You see a combat cab nearby.
All right, we're gonna dive into the combat cab.
I'm about to pull him into an alley when you would grab me or whatever and pull me
And
into the
sure
cab.
enough,
How are you doing that, Ren? Because I'm looking around for alleyways.
I just pull him by his arm.
All right. And in the few moments that you have, luckily your awareness gave you the advantage. So you guys jump into the combat cab. Where do you want to go?
Let's go to let's probably just head north along the waterfront. We're just gonna head north along the waterfront.
All right. So you tell the combat cab north to the waterfront. It goes, "Hi, gladly welcome to combat cab," and does the whole intro spiel and takes off. And just as you guys are, Alex, as you're nervously looking at the back window, and they see you guys jump in the combat cab and immediately try to make a beeline for it. But luckily, you guys were just far enough away that by the time the combat cab pulls off, they're all have that moment where they all just stop and like, fuck. And you see one guy that he has a bottle, he throws it after you. And you see the bottle.
Can we kind of try to I don't know, remember what they look like?
Well, you got to know, you both rolled super high awarenesses. So yeah, you can say you can recognize the two people that did that to you. Or at least the two people that were in the club.
Right.
And then you see the bottle arc in the air and it smashes a few feet behind the cab as it pulls off. And they peel away. And
I just rest my SSG on my thigh. Right, like breathing. Ugh.
All right, so
those guys look armed to you, Ren?
They threw a bottle. Maybe not good.
Yeah, no, maybe.
But
well,
we go your place, yeah?
Yeah. What's my address for my apartments? McDougal Drive, 1084.
Yeah, you can live anywhere in Night City you can afford to live. I'm not gonna give you for sure.
All right. I name out my address for my apartment. Right. It's a small 2-room place. Right.
I tell the driver to circle to the west.
No.
I tell the driver to circle to the west, and then we'll head down one of the main thoroughfares through downtown to go south.
Okay. And so yeah, the cab marks you through the city. You pass through the corporate zone. You see the giant arcology corporate headquarters looming up in the skyline. A few AVs are flying overhead. It's a relatively clear night in Night City, not that much smog, so you can almost see a twinkle of a star or two in the night sky. And after a while of driving through the streets, you finally make it to Alex's apartment.
Right.
What's the date? I'm just curious. Like, what's the date in Night City?
The date? Oh, we could say it's today's date. It's October.
Okay, October 2020.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as we're pulling up on my place, I'm like, Ren, I'm not tired whatsoever right now. I want to do something. I want to do something with my hands. I want to do something. I want to get this energy out of me. Right. Do you have anything that you need to get done? Or because I kind of want to go spend some of the cash I got and got in my place on some substance.
All right. Well, do you want me to hang out with you, or do you want some?
I don't know. I'm leaving. That's what I'm asking you. Right. I'd
some
like
time
you're a
on
good
your own.
friend, right? But
You
I
can
want to help you out too.
You can teach me more English. We do more English.
All right. That's what I'm gonna do, right? I'd like to come out of the cab, right? Go into my place, right? Grab some eddies, to feed the cat, and head out of the place. Drop my medical equipment off, right? Or at least the big bag of the stuff, the med tech stuff, right? So and then I'd like to head back over, right? I'd like to go and seek out a dealer, right?
Okay.
Fixer or so on, and then I could, and then as we're peeling around town, I could point out the places I do know, right? The names of the places, the scary places, the safe places, right? The places where people give me weird looks, and the places where people try and drag me in to rip me off, right?
Right. Cool.
Yeah. This we'll make this easy. It's not complicated. You call your dealer. He's 24/7. He's more than
How
happy
much
to
cash do I need to grab?
whatever the price of a dwarf is. You can discount it.
Does he come to you, or do you have to go to him?
You have to go to him.
When does he want to go by himself, or does he allow me to come with him?
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm helping you, or I'm pointing out some places as we're doing this.
Okay,
right?
so we're walking to your dealer's place. Is that what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Obviously, like you wait outside. He goes inside. He does his little deal. He comes out. So you're just standing out in front of this building for a few minutes, kind of deal. And yeah, he takes you on a tour of Night City. He kind of gives you the lay of the land, where to go, where not to go, what to do. Anything else? You can describe whatever you want to do, Alex. If you want to give him a tour of Night City.
Now, there's some interesting spots that I want to check out with him. All right. But I don't want to get too hung up on this, because if we want to jump to our next fight, like the interesting bit, right, with the time we have left in our session, then honestly, that would be the funner thing to do right now. With like the fight.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We're close to wrapping up, so if you wanted to goof off a little bit, describe something.
I think what I was interested in doing was talking to his fixer and finding out if there was maybe any opportunity to get some a blade. Been interested in getting
the fixer that he goes to only specializes in recreational.
Yeah, no. See, if we're not talking to the fixer, my next move, what I would have asked Hugo here, I would have asked if I could show you the different places of interest in Night City. Show you the weapon shops, show you where there's good attachment places, show you a techie, where you can get some cars or get your cars fixed. Right? Can we do that? Do I know those places, Hugo?
Yeah, right. A few places. I mean,
and then we could take the pit stops and get hung up on the places that are of interest to buy stuff from.
Yeah, right. So he gives you a lay of the land, general landmarks you can use to map.
Does he live in the combat zone or in the moderate zone, or?
I think you said you were upgrading to a moderate zone, right?
I would like to do that. How much is that? Because I can pay that right now. I have 2,000 euro bucks after spending my last 200 on 2 doors.
It's 2 times whatever the standard rate for an apartment.
I think it's 400 for a month for a moderate apartment.
Yeah, because it's 200.
All right, then I'll subtract that 2,000.
So
minus
if he's looking for a place, maybe I tell him, hey, there's an apartment in my building actually. It's
don't worry about it. No, because we already went to my place and picked up things. Don't worry about it. I already have a place all set up right now.
So you're in the moderate zone. Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to get too much. I want to get a bigger place. I want to set up like a proper little first aid place. I want to be able to pull someone in and not pull them right into my bedroom whenever I heal someone.
Sure.
But whatever. I'll work with what I got.
I have a 1-bedroom apartment close by, actually. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for someone with like a 2 or 3 room place.
moderate zone as well. It's a nice neighborhood. It's okay.
All right.
Nonetheless, what was it? You wanted blades, right? I know a good guy. I don't know if they're like, I don't know my blades super well, so I don't know if they're like bargain bin stuff or if they're like, clean, folded 10,000 times by the glorious imperial sun. So they're probably somewhere in between there, right?
Okay. Well, let me see.
All right. I want to go over to, like the normal, okay, so can we head over to a combat zone dealer or can we head over to a moderate zone dealer?
Yeah,
What's our place?
You're in the moderate zone. There will definitely be a 24-hour gun weapon store open because it's the
Yeah.
dark future.
Right.
You can imagine it like the Walmart of weapons. Few racks of basic handguns, basic assault rifles, a couple, it's all basic standard stuff. Standard swords, standard knives. You do see a listing for monoblade weapons.
All right. How much monoblade?
Whatever they cost.
Like a katana?
I'm going to say no, not in this store. Whatever, it's probably going to be machete shaped, if anything, or a combat knife made out of mono.
Well, yeah, let's ask our boy Bill or whoever it is at the counter here. Right. Let's know what's he where's he getting these guns from, right? Can we maybe make a persuasion roll, or can we maybe try and convince him to try and set us up with, or not set us up, but at least tell us if he can custom order it. How are you getting your mono blades, Bill? Right. And also when he's done, I want to pick up some extra slugs, some AP slugs or some regular slugs, and some more shotgun ammo, so I can have an exact amount of how much I have.
Mm-hmm. Are there AP slugs available here?
No. This is a commercial business, so there is no armor piercing because that is a military grade weapon.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have access to that. Yeah, from what you could tell, all the monoblades that are listed for sale are either like a combat knife made out of monoblade material, or it's like a utility blade made out of mono knife, which obviously can be sold in a weapon store because a blade is a blade and doesn't matter. Most people don't care. But as far as you can tell, there's no like official sword that they're selling here.
Okay.
Besides this, besides
I'm looking for a Kendachi mono katana, but
right.
if you don't have one here, I will keep looking.
He's like, oh no, Kendachi original. He's like, oh no, Kendachi original source OEM. That's very hard to come by over here. Most of my stuff is rebuilt.
Ah.
Well, where are you pulling it all from? Dead bodies? Come on, Bill. You gotta give us some something to work with here.
I know a guy who knows a guy. Some things fall off a truck, some things fall from the sky. Sometimes I find things on the floor. You never know.
Okay. So I'll buy a few shuriken if he has any.
Sure, he does.
All right. So I buy 6 shuriken.
Okay. He has a nice little plastic shrink wrapped case for you.
It's like 20 EB, I bet.
Yep.
Or 17, 18.
Now, I've kind of had an issue finding these in places, Bill. Do we have like some 20 gauge shells? I know 12 gauge, everyone's using that, but do we have any 20 gauge shells? I use it for the SSG here, and I'm really struggling to find extra magazines for this thing too.
Do you have persuasion?
All right. Let me check. Sorry, the skill sheet. I'm getting used to it. I
should be under empathy.
I don't. No persuasion.
I have streetwise.
You have streetwise.
I do.
Yeah, but you don't know anybody in Night City yet. You're still to do.
So that means I can't use streetwise?
You could use streetwise to do things like if you were standing in the street and you wanted to figure out who was a possible drug dealer, that you could use a streetwise to say, hey, that guy looks like someone who sells drugs, or that guy looks like someone who's like a spotter for a gang, or like
All right.
That, or you could tell if like people are doing gang messages to each other. But until I'm not gonna say it's permanent. Obviously, as we play more and you get more familiar, then be like, yeah, you know everything in Night City now. Your streetwise will now get you the ability to like call up somebody because you know them already.
It seems like we'll be
Right.
taking jumps as well, so there'll be lots of time for like my character's been doing X in between time because it looks like after this session we're gonna be jumping to the next fight, basically, right?
Well, we'll
Possibly,
Probably, maybe.
We'll see how this ends.
Yeah.
You know what? Once again, I'll make this sort of just so we can flow it and not have a big to do about it. You want 20 gauge? He has the last. He manages to have the last box of 20 gauge left in the store, so he will sell it to you. He agrees with you. This is hard to come by. He goes, but I don't see it. I don't normally see a trauma team weapon come by here unless it's trauma team and they issue their own ammo.
Don't worry about it.
And then just as you're having this conversation with some other random customer just happens to walk by and glance, and he's like, "Oh shit, you don't know who that is? Dude, you're the guy!"
Look, you're very sensitive person, but you don't know who you're talking about, so
And so yeah, the shop owner is just kind of like giving you like a glint, like a squint, like, "What are you talking about, Steve? Dude, he's the trauma team guy.
I have like 600 euros. Yeah, you know what? Let's make this happen. Let me get these shells.
Luckily,
and then, like,
luckily, Bill is more interested in commerce than gossip, so he's like, "Shut up, Steve. I'm trying to do some business here." And he takes your money and he passes you over the stuff.
How much money?
How much does 20 gauge shell cost?
And how much is the?
It's
case?
listed.
How many
It's
case
listed
shells are in
on
case?
page 64.
On the main
A
book?
shotgun box of 12 is $15 or 15 eb. Armor piercing is 3 times the cost.
Okay, so yeah,
but we've already kind of made clear that these are 20 gauges are because they're 20 gauge and not 12 gauge. It's a little harder to find. So set your price as you will.
give it a 50% increase.
All right. So what is that?
Would be about $22.
$22.
22 eb.
22
Yeah,
EVs.
I count out all the money and I pay them. Right. Probably even that rounds up to like 25, just because I don't have change on me and just bills or whatever.
All right. Do I find a Militech electronics taser in one of the cases?
What's the availability on it?
Common.
Then you do.
All right. How much for this one? It's listed at 60, but I want to try to like negotiate down a price with my Streetwise, if that's possible.
No, you would need there's a specific skill for that.
It's called Streetwise. It's in the Wildside Fixer book. I mentioned this in the chat yesterday or the day before. It's a contested roll. If people have Street Deal, it's plus 5% per point difference in the contested roll, either up or down depending on who wins. But since neither of us are fixers, or maybe he's a fixer and I'm not, then
he's not a fixer and you're not a fixer either. So
Streetwise is only plus 2% per point difference. At least that's what it says in Wildside Fixer book. It's a contested roll, so we just do Streetwise and see who rolls higher. If I lose, then I guess he can negotiate a higher price than 60. I'm just guessing. I mean, it's up to you, but that's what what I read.
Yeah, it feels like an optional rule.
That feels like an optional rule too. Plus, none of one of us are fixers, so it's kind of like, yeah, because he doesn't have that's a special ability thing. So
well, it's not actually, but I mean, Streetwise can do it too. They're only 2% difference instead of a 5% difference.
Okay, roll your Streetwise.
It's under cool. There you go. Oh, I fumbled.
All right then. So you lose. You can't negotiate. A couple of minutes of you haggling back and forth. Bill
He's
is
like, hey, it's gonna be 70 or 80.
Yeah. Listen, dude. Like, I don't know if you get this here. This isn't like an open air market in Tijuana. Like, the prices are set by Militech. I don't really have a choice here.
Right.
I think we lost 357 because his screen's looking funky.
Uh-oh. Well, hey,
is
that
it?
fumble.
Yeah, you're kind of frozen.
I don't know why I don't know why it's you would see that, because on my side it looks fine.
Okay, as long as it's cool. I don't care. All right, so yeah, you failed to negotiate the taser price. He wasn't picking up what you were putting down, so
Right. Wow.
it costs what it costs.
Yeah. All right. I'll buy it. Thank you. Tech taser for 60.
All right. And with all that, you guys are done with your commerce. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, it's a pretty clear night, right? Like, we would, do whatever other hobby bits. I'd probably hit a dwarf and pass out somewhere, and so on, right? This would be the time where we'd time skip to another one of the big plot points. Right?
Exactly.
And I know you wanted me to really take control of things here. All right, I don't want to sidetrack your story with you know what? I'm searching out for someone. I'm gonna hunt someone down. I'm gonna make 20,000. You know that big corporation? We're gonna heist it or something, right? Like, I don't want to sidetrack it right now. I want to wait a little bit before I start sidetracking.
All right, so you got your door. You go back to your apartment. You shoot up and you drop out. Shiren, I guess you go home. You go to sleep.
Yep.
And so we will end the session with the last moment, which is the next morning. Alex, you wake up completely burnt out and hungover, still jittering from the night before and wondering what you got yourself into. And Shiren, as you wake up in the morning, you walk down to check your mail, and as you open your snail mail box for the few pieces of physical mail that you still receive, you notice something very unusual laying on top of the mailbox over your apartment number. And it is a little origami picture of a crane.
Oh, fuck me.
And you know that is your dead drop signal. Saying
is it?
Yeah, that means that you have to go meet up with your minder and accept your mission. And it's been a while, and they pretty much told you that get ready because you're gonna get your first big test soon. So you have the sinking feeling that this origami means it's time for business.
All right.
So
do I have a chance to contact Alex and see if he wants to tag along?
No, he can't come with you. Only you can show up.
All right.
Actually, Alex doesn't know anything about this.
Oh, you're right. Okay, got it.
Alex knows nothing about this.
So what do I am expected to do then?
You have an address that you're supposed to go to, and basically you're going to meet the shoemaker. The shoemaker is your contact in the city. Okay. That's his name. I decided to keep going on with the shoemaker motif.
Okay, so I go to meet the shoemaker.
And that's how we'll end it tonight. We'll start the next session with you meeting your minder and getting your first real mission.
Awesome.
All right, and that ends the session. Like I said, Go was just here as an observer to get an idea of how the game is played and what's involved and all that bit. So he didn't participate, but we're going to insert him in the story very soon. And thank you two guys for dealing with my rusty DMing.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
And all right, so let's wrap it up real quickly. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns?
Thanks a lot, Hugo. Really appreciate you running this for us. This was fun.
I am excited for the future. This was a small beginning, right? With very casual, very low-level things. I want to see how you're gonna wrap my character into the horrible realities of the world and how horribly screwed up his life is gonna get within these next 3 or 4 sessions.
Oh yeah, I'm already picking up like your kind of character vibe, so I'm already got an idea of like what I'm gonna throw you into. And so I kind of see you like the Jesse Pinkman of the story.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's exactly that was a big thought process there.
Okay, so yeah, so you're just basically you're gonna be like the Jesse Pinkman of the situation. You're just basically going to be out of water half the time.
I'm wondering. I kind of informally did first aid on myself. I didn't roll for it, but I figured since it was just 1 point, it wouldn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Plus, you heal X number of points per day anyway.
All right, good.
And since you wiped the floor off poor Peter, you know, he got the worst end of the deal than you did.
All right. So I assume that I start play next time with no hits lost.
Yeah, you're fine. We're fine because but enough time will pass on before.
All right. Cool.
Okay then. So IP. You both get 1 IP for playing. Thank you very much for joining. And yeah, you guys pretty much established your characters, introduced yourselves to everybody. We did a little med tech. We did a lot of fisticuffs. You even managed to avoid a little ad hoc section that I threw in. So I'm going to give you guys both 5 IP each. So a total of 6 for this session.
All right. Where does that go?
To any particular skill or what?
No, you can bank them however you want, and you can decide how you want to spend them. Put them in your notes section if there's no category in the character sheet.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't play that game. You can decide to put your IP points in anything you want.
Okay.
So 1 IP point?
6 total.
Oh. 6.
So there's a little section on your character sheet on the paper version, right between rep and humanity.
Yeah. And then in the character, in the Roll20 character sheet, you could just put it in other notes. I think that's why.
Hey, does my rep increase? I'm just curious. Does it go from 2 to 3 maybe?
Not yet. I'll tell you when your rep moves up. But yeah, remind me about your rep so that I can adequately give you higher reputation.
Cool.
But all right.
I need cybernetics.
You need cash.
I need cybernetics, but my character isn't the kind of guy to put on himself. He needs something scary enough to push him to make him paranoid enough to want them.
Is that a request?
That's a request. I'm the kind of a lot of people will start their character off right with big enemies having killed their family and then them being escaped and being the only person known to escape or whatever. Right. I start off a character being actively hunted down by people. I want as many ginormous conflicting events to happen as possible. I want things to get as shitty and horrible before they get better, you know?
Cool.
I love it.
Okay. All right, so that's it. Like I said, if you guys have any comments or statements, I would love to hear some feedback. Thank you guys.
Great.
Thank you guys for playing. I will tell you, like I said, it's been rusty. It's been a few months since I played, and plus.
Oh, you did great. It was a lot of fun.
Plus, you decided to use Pac Rim, and I'm like, oh, great, whole new combat system that I have to remember that.
Like, if I had to mention anything, I would say there was times where you shouldn't, where I know you were rusty as a DM, but I don't think you should doubt yourself as much. Even if it's the incorrect decision, I think just for the flow of gameplay, you should just make a decision and stick with it instantly.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Fix it later.
Going forward, if I make a call, even if you don't like it or you think it's wrong, nothing personal. We'll just go with that. After the game, if you find the page in the book and you're like, hey, you said this, but the book says that, I'll read it. 90% of the time, unless there's some real reason why I don't like it, I'd be like, you're right, I made a mistake. Next time, remind me so I don't make the same mistake. I'll keep it in my head that this is how it's supposed to work. That's how I usually like to play. It's a learning process. We're all learning. I'm not an encyclopedia. So
yeah.
And then eventually, after a while, we will remember all the pertinent details, and this will be less confusing.
It was a slow session, but it gave us the time to really focus in on all the smaller bits, the detailed bits. Instead of us skipping over things and discussions and dialogue to run from location to location, we were able to talk about the worry, we were able to describe the sweat, we were able to see the fight break down and snap and crack, and we were all able to, as players, be able to kind of use our characters, improve our character's worth, which is an important thing, right? Especially in a starting session. You were able to prove your solo as a solo, and I was able to prove my medic as a medic, right? which was good. Right.
All right.
So
Good.
there's
My whole
nothing.
My whole intention was literally to introduce you to, give you guys a little chance to show off what you're capable of, and then set the story going at this point. So
I really see that there is a story developing here, and we've done some good character development. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this progresses.
all right. So like I said, that's great. Thank you guys for playing. Remember, we'll be playing next Tuesday, right? You're good for Tuesday? You're good for Tuesday? Okay, Tuesday, around 5:15, around the same time. Go. Thank you for listening in. You got any questions? Send me a message, and I'll help explain. I'll help explain anything that you're not sure about.
I hope you enjoyed watching us play Go. We'll look forward to playing with you next time.
All right. And just to say thank you, anybody, for watching. And remember to go to cyberpunkunlimited.com. And thank you, Rob, for hosting this game. And have a good night, everyone.
Cyberpunkuncensored.com.